Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Atul Kumar on the line, and he's co-founder and CEO over at REN Ventures. Atul, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. Great to be talking to you.
So excited to have you on the show today. I mean, today's topic's highly relevant, so we're going to talk about digital health tech trends and what you're noticing from your vantage point. But before we get into that, I want to go a little bit further into what you're doing over at REN Ventures. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Sure, Adam. So my company, REN Ventures, started with the idea of rainmakers. It's a California term, when the best sales guys and the people in the olden tradition, the native people here would do some magic and they'll make it rain after a long drought. So many of my friends used to say that, hey, Atul, you have been a rainmaker in the social space, helping so many nonprofits and charity work. So why don't you become a rainmaker in the business of sales, the best sales guys. So I say, yeah, let me do that. So what I did for non-profits, now trying to do the same in the for-profit world, helping startups get started, startups getting scale up, and that's what we at REN Ventures do. And basically, we connect the dots in the ecosystem. Did I answer you?
Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And so I think that's a great transition to getting into today's topic. So talking a little bit more about digital health tech trends, because you are working with these types of companies, I mean, what kind of things are you noticing that are interesting right now?
Sure, Adam. So one of the, and it's not a trend, it's like a long-term thing. Internet has changed everything. Internet came maybe around 40, 50 years old when the Defense Advanced Research Project, the DARPANET and ARPANET, when they brought internet. Thankfully, US had a big role in creating internet. So once the internet came in, the world was changed. Just like people are saying after COVID, the world is not going to be the same again. So internet was the biggest disruptive force in the last 100 years, I would say, just like industrial revolution used to be in the 18th century, 17th century. Internet was a big change. And COVID is bringing some other behavioral changes across societies. So there are some changes, especially in the healthcare industry. The biggest trend which I see happening is adoption of technology, the convergence of 5G, AI, machine learning, IoT, and another psychological or sociological changes happening in the healthcare industry from what I see from my clients is that people are changing from population health, which used to be a big thing till a few years back, to a personalized precision health. So you don't want to be treating about population, your solutions to be focusing on a large population or segments of population. But here people want a very, very personalized precision health for each individual. And that is a big transition. Technology will be a big enabler of that.
No, that's awesome. And that personalized healthcare or personalized health, I mean, things like wearables and technology. I mean, tell us a little bit more about like the actual technologies you've seen out there that just excite you, that you're like, oh man, this is really interesting.
Sure. And I also bring another layer to that is that we all have been talking about big data and data for the last many years. Mm-hmm. Now, healthcare has a lot of data, and each human body, each person has billions and billions of cells and neurons, and each neuron is almost like a computer, because each neuron in our body, each neuron in our nervous system, that itself itself is like a computer. And many neurons, these billions and billions of neurons, they come together to create our organs, and they create our whole nervous system and our cardiovascular systems. So we have to understand things at a neural level. At the same time, we also have to understand the effects at a macro level. How do we as a whole human person we react? How do we get impacted by any stimuli in the environment? It could be weather, it could be the food we eat, it could be the conversations we have, all of them impact our health at a larger scale too. And then once we expand that to slightly macro level, so our health is very personal, it has to be very personalized. At the same time, the health of the society also matters. So I might be the healthiest person in town, but if my town is sick, then there is very high likely that I will also get sick. I might get infected, or just the social, psychological impact of everybody seeing everybody dying, everybody falling sick, that will have a negative socio-psychological impact on people. So the health of the community around me matters to me equally. And lastly, my point is that COVID-19 has shown us to the world how connected we all are. So a virus, man-made or natural, that in a small place called Wuhan in China, now it has brought the whole world to a stop. And so not for days, weeks, but months, and maybe now or more than a year now might have an effect. So I will say we have to think about at a micro level, at the cellular level, at a neural level. At the same time, we also have to be able to think about the changes and the impact at a macro level. And macro level, I mean at the whole planetary level, at a country level, and all of us are connected, related. So people started with population health, but now I think we'll have to have a combination of population health along with personalized precision health. So precision health, what I mean is I'm not treating my hand or leg, but I'm actually going parts of my head, parts of my hand or leg. That particular area, rather than giving a medicine, what happens in the traditional medicine, you take a medicine that circulates in the whole system. Whereas now technology has evolved that will just go to that particular part of the body which needs that treatment, and that's very exciting to me.
I think that's really exciting. That being said, so Atul, I know we barely scratched the surface on this one, but we're about out of time. I can talk to you about this all day long because I know you're working on some interesting projects. But that being said, if somebody's listening to this, and this is a final question, two-part question. If somebody's listening to this and they want to learn more about REN Ventures, first, what are the right type of companies that are typically a good fit for REN Ventures, number one? And number two, how do they follow up?
Sure. So the sweet spot for my clients, the companies I help them, is companies which are in the seed stage or angel stage who are looking to scale up, and they're looking for a couple of things. Number one, they're looking for capital. Everybody needs more capital so they can hire more people and get technology deployments. And number two, that's even more important, is they want clients, because you might have the best solutions, the best product and platform, but if nobody is using a platform product, then it's no good. So I also help, my company also help entrepreneurs and startups to get linked into the larger ecosystem. So, in healthcare in US, CMS and the government has the largest ecosystem, and then we also have the Blue Cross Blue Shields on all the states. So that is the larger ecosystem. They have the budgets. Government is still the largest ecosystem, but then the big pharma, the big hospital systems, and all the big doctors also have their own groups. I know healthcare has its own association, and neuro has their own association. So all the different ecosystems, they all need to be connected better. And very often the biggest challenge has been ownership of data. Who owns my data? So if somebody does, I had a blood work in a nearest LabCorp or at a doctor, then I don't have access to my own data. Ultimately, if I change doctors, if I change hospitals, I have to make a very extra effort to get my own medical records. And to me, that's a big problem. The data should travel with the patient. If I am the patient, it's my blood work, then I own the data, and that's a big change. And there are a lot of legal and legislative changes happening on that, and medical records also is a big part of it.
That's awesome. And what's the best way for companies to follow up?
So companies can reach me on. So obviously we have our website REN.Ventures. And I am a very, very digital person. So the easiest way to reach me is through a WhatsApp message on my number, +1 203 987 4452, and or they can reach me at my personal email, Atul techfortechnology@gmail.com, or my website, ren.ventures.
Fantastic. Well, Atul, really appreciate you coming on the show today to talk more about digital health tech trends and what you're noticing, and also tell us more about what you're doing over at REN Ventures. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Atul, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you so much, and great talking to you.